All right, we're live, and this live stream we're going to be testing the Thane, Belagar Ironhammer, and Thorgrim Grudgebearer post patch. So the Thane got quite a few buffs, including a cost reduction, and got a stealth buff in a increase to their charge bonus. Belagar got a buff to his mass and to his stats, and he got a reduction in price. And Thorgrim got a buff in his AP, so he swapped some normal weapon damage for AP weapon damage, as well as a reduction in price. So I got the test results before. I took these on September 9th, and now it's September 11th. So I'm going to have the test before and after. So I have all the data before, and then now it's time to get the data after. And I'm going to look at the value proposition. How much value was gained in that buff for this matchup, just so I have an idea of what's changed. So we'll get to where's my setup. So I have to fight on Glacial Lakes because my mods aren't all working. Pick Any General works, but the unit testing fields doesn't work with it. This sort of happens every patch. We got the basic Saurus Warrior, and of course we do have our Thane. Now our Thane now has 30 charge bonus, which he didn't have before. And I don't know if, I think his Foe Seeker and Deadly Onslaught have not changed. They were the same. Silverhorn of Vengeance is the same and same cost. Rune of Slowness is the same cost, 18% speed. I don't know if this Ironbeard's Ring was always 80 gold. I think it was. 22 weakness to fire, but maybe it's a little cheaper. I don't know. But the Thane has definitely been buffed, has better stats, and now he has less splash attack targets, so he should kill more models. So we're going to get that started, and we're going to find out what does that value proposition actually look like. And sort of get this down on the day of the patch. I've already put out 2 videos today looking at some of the stealth changes to the Dowie. And what else did I look at? We'll just get that fight going. Stealth changes to the Dowie. And I can't remember what the other video was. I think I put out 2 videos today. And I've actually recorded a live battle. So I've had my first battle. Okay, so there we go. 59:28. 59:28. But I want to make it a proper video, but 59:28. So 28 seconds is when they start fighting. So if you haven't seen me take data before, I take the start and finish time of each battle, then calculates DPS and look at the value of the start value and the end value of both units compared to each other. And that's sort of how I get a feel for value changes over time. Okay, so now we're just going to let them fight. So the Thane lost pretty badly last time. It looks like he's going to lose pretty badly this time too. I mean, he does have more mass, he has more stats. His better charge bonus, but I mean, this is not the type of fight you want to Thane in. He's fighting these Saurus Warriors. Really, you know, you'll put your Thane in for a rear charge if you have to try and route a unit. You can use your Thane. Really, you can plug him in to fight weaker units like Chaff, or you can use him to try and stop or get a little chip damage on something stronger. Mainly, the only utility he has right now is his slow and his weakness to fire damage. So. Alright, and boom, stop. So 56:39 is when that ends. 56:39. Thane finished with 607. And Saurus Warriors finished with 4768. Okay. Alright. So Thane's losing 100 gold there. So what were they finishing up before? They averaged, so the before... We look, the average, the Thane finished with 607 hit points, which his first one is 607. The battle finished at an average of 174 seconds. This is 169. The DPS of the Thane was 15.5 and the Saurus Warriors 15.4. We can see the Thane has a little higher DPS here, did a little bit more damage, and the gold differential was average 213. Right on this one, it's 102. So we'll see if that continues to hold. You got to remember that's a minus 102 gold differential when this has already been costed at less. So that's kind of like a 200 gold differential. So we'll see. We'll just keep running the test and run it over and over and get our seven data points back. Well, I guess 28 data points back, and put them in the spreadsheet and then compare it to 2 days ago to see the Thane, how much do the Thane's buffs matter in terms of being able to get them involved in an infantry fight? And like, he should be able to waddle around a little bit better. He does have more mass. Like 200 more mass is not nothing. I think that puts him at 900 or something like that for mass, and maybe 1100. I know the lords like Belagar and Grombrindle and Ungram are all at 1500 mass now. For reference purposes, Grimgor Ironhide is at 2000 mass, so he's still quite a bit bigger than the Dowee. Okay. So you can see, even though he's surrounded, and this is something that's important, even though he is surrounded, he's not getting attacked in the back. He's got an exposed flank, but he's not being attacked in the back or attacked in the rear, even though he's completely surrounded. I think, like I said before, I think that is calculated the second that the direction is calculated, the second the two units meet, and it stays exactly the same until they disengage. So 5614, that one looked good. 5614, but I didn't see the numbers. 5614, 628 for the Thane, 628, and the Saurus, 4314. That is good. 4314. All right, so 50 gold that time. Still a loss, but potentially looking better. So we're in a rematch and continue. We'll see what all those stat differentials actually ended up meaning for the Thane in terms of this fight. Now, if the Thane could ever catch something like a wizard on a horse or something like that, he could actually wreck him, you know, or like a skink caster just on foot. But you never can catch them. Skinks are fast, horses are fast. You know, Thanes just can't catch anything. Now, when the Thane did have the Tormentor sword, obviously a sword is. I wish it would have been called like the Tormentor axe or something, but you know, at least he could lock things down. And it always makes me wonder why they took that away specifically, because it was one of those things. I mean, if you can't play around the positioning of a Thane with your large items to avoid getting netted for 9 seconds, that's probably more on you than on the mechanic. But it is what it is. I would definitely like to see the Thane get a slow back of some sort, you know, or like a hard net, like even an AOE net would be fantastic. So 5701. Thane finished with 636. And let's just check. What's his start health? Thane's start health. 3126. 7650. 7650. Okay, say 4758. 4758. All right. We'll keep on going. A rematch it is. So I really want to get these 3 data points tonight. Well, it's still fresh in your mind, and I got those 2 videos before and after the patch, just to see the difference. Like, I'm really curious, because the stat changes are not small. Like, they were all pretty significant. Like, the thing got more AP, more armor piercing damage, I think. I don't know what the list of changes he got are. I should probably go and look it up. I mean, it's not that big a deal. I do list them out in the previous video. You see, when he sort of gets in like that, he does a lot of damage right away. He's out damaging him right now. You know, and he thinks it's even. Now they're going to think they're winning. Once they get into this position, it seems like maybe he's not hit as many things. He seems to do better in the pile. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's just me not observing close enough. But he's definitely taking more health. His DPS is higher. And that'll be in part from his increased charge bonus. I think it was 16 before. And now it's 30. Like, it's been raised a lot. Like, that's no... it's not some, like, kind of... You know, and a good question was, okay, so the Thane has a great charge bonus, now what? You know, like, what are you going to use that great charge bonus for? There's really not that many places, I understand, but a buff is a buff. And it shows that someone at CA is looking at the Thane, really making a strong attempt to make the Thane better. That's what that shows. That's one of the things, and which I love that the Thane is still being looked at. 55, 57. Thane is 488. And Saurus 4026. Excellent. Well, 43 gold. Not too terrible. Rematch. So it looks like the Thane is definitely going to pull more value in this fight. Not a ton, though, when you put the entire thing together. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that once I get the testing done. You know, I should have looked at how many kills they're getting, that the Thane's getting. Really. I think I did that, actually, as I looked at the kill counts for the Thane a few times. You know, like how many kills he was actually getting. Because with hitting less models, his kill count should be higher, even if the health is not that much higher. You know what I mean? Or sorry, his kill count should be higher, even if the health he takes off is the same. That's the idea of killing more models. And I mean, it does all kinds of good things, especially against factions that have heals, etc., etc. So, holy, the Thane might win this. No, I thought that. Oops, I thought the red one was the Thane for a second. No, the Thane's not going to win this. Like, what the heck? He's winning? Okay, no. Looking at the wrong data. And boom. So Thane got, I'm going to say, 17 kills there. Is that what that is? Okay, 56-21. Thane finished with 648. And Saurus finished with 4558. Okay. We'll keep on going. Rematch. And we'll get that one done so you can sort of see the actual net value when you put all this together of the Thane and infantry fight. And again, I mean, if you didn't watch the first video, I put them up against the Saurus Warriors with shields because you're going to see Saurus Warriors with shields. That's something that Dowie is always going to face against the Lizard Men. You know, especially now that they nerfed the red-crested skinks, which seemed unwarranted. But I mean, I don't have access to CA's data. Maybe the red-crested skinks were doing more than I thought, or more in certain matchups, or you know, I know in the Dowie matchup the red-crested skinks weren't that great at 575. Now they're 600. So I think you know, if you look at just that, the dwarves got stronger against the wood elves, not weaker. But when you actually pull it back and really look at it, if you assume that the red-crested skinks are a suboptimal choice to begin with at 575, it doesn't matter if they go up to 600 gold. You're not using them anyways. Although I would say red-crested skinks are kind of a nice two-of to bring around the back, you know, to sort of hold back until all the fighting's engaged, so they don't have to worry about getting, you know, beat down by quarrelers or stuff like that. 55, 52. But no more than a 2-of. Just no, there's no way that more than 2-of could be correct. You know, unless the Dowie are bringing suboptimal troops like dwarf warriors, like just basic dwarf warriors, because red-crested skinks crush dwarf warriors like badly. Same with miners, but miners with blasting charges do a number on them. 524 for the Thane. Well, that bodes well. His health should be quite a bit lower. 3902, nice. First one under 4,000. And one more test, and we will have the first set of results to compare two battles before and after this patch, with the big buffs to the Thane and the stealth buff to his charge bonus, which I was really happy to see. I mean, I looked at every unit, I looked at every cost, every ability, and I saw those three buffs. There are three stealth buffs that I put out, and potentially some changes to the pricing of some items. But I mean, I could be mistaken. I don't know what the price was before off the top of my head on everything. But some of them looked a little weird, and I already got a note that I thought one of the abilities for Thorgrim Grudgebearer, High King, was reduced in price, but I was wrong. It was not. That's exactly the same price as it was before. So, you know, and I thought maybe one item from the Thane is cheaper, but you know, whatnot. And the big thing is the Master Engineer is 150 gold cheaper. They had him in the notes as being 100 gold cheaper, so I'm glad they did that. Now the 3 dwarf heroes are 500, 550, and 600. So 500 for the Thane base, 550 for the Runesmith base, 600 for the Master Engineer base. So if the only reason it was done was for symmetry, or making a nice sequence, I really appreciate the person who did that. Just so it wasn't like 500, 550, 650. It's 500, 550, 600. I love it. Each goes up by 50. That pleases. It pleases the inner Dowie in me, the inner order that I like to see. So 5601. 01, and Thane finished with 596. Not too bad. And the Saurus Warriors finished with 4514. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to save that. So the average battle took 190 seconds. Before, it was taking 174, so a little bit longer. Maybe because the Thane is killing a little bit more. The Thane finished with an average... How is this possible? Finished with 19% of his hit points? Oh, yeah. In this one, he finished with 19% of his hit points on average. This one, 19%. 590 to 607. The Thane, the Saurus Warriors, on average before, finished with 66% of their health. Now they're down to 58. The Thane averaged 17.2 damage per second. Before, he was damaging 15.5. So that's a solid, 1.7 damage per second improvement. And he was taking 15.4 before, and now he's taking 13.5. So a reduction too with his stats. So, that's actually made some kind of difference. The standard deviation seems to have gone down too, so they're a little bit more reliable at those numbers, which is interesting. So on average, the Thane lost 66 gold. Before he'd lost 213. So before, the Thane in this match was valued at 387 gold. Now the Thane is valued at 434 gold. So you can see he only lost 70 gold on average, 66. But the total value of that Thane in this fight is 434 gold, where it was 387. So he's got 13, 43, 47 gold. So he's gained about 50 gold worth of capability. And he costs 100 gold less. So that's really pretty good. That's really a pretty big difference, actually. So it's really nice to see. Costs less and he's valued more, which is excellent. All right, let's go get Belegar. So I did run one quick test with Belegar right when I got home. And he just about won. I don't know if he's going to be able to win this, but it was really close. I was like, well, he might win it. So, which would be pretty impressive because he wasn't close before. So his stats, we'll see if his stat buffs have really made a difference. And he's 100 gold cheaper again. So where's Belegar? Belegar? All right. No, none of this stuff. Down at 1,000 gold. And his melee defense has gone up from 60 or 55 to 60. And he does have the extra mass, and I'm not sure what else he has. Extra mass, knockdown, defense, and maybe he has something else. Maybe a weapon strength swap for AP. Probably not. Anyways, we'll get this fight going. And now that we've seen the difference between the Thane, which is definitely showing much higher quality in this fight, whereas you could almost bring a Thane in a fight against Saurus Warriors with shields and break even. So that's telling me the Thane is going to pull pretty positive value against state troops, like not sword masters, but swordsmen. Really good value against sort of the mid-tier infantry ghouls or such, especially if they have no armor or little armor. It'd be really good against marauders, that kind of thing. Gabagundam, hey, the Thane finally makes a cut. Well, he is much better. Gabba, he is much better. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so here we go. And he got a stealth buff because he had his charge bonus buffed. And so he's so much better now and much cheaper you know, that brings a lot more builds with that Silverhorn of Vengeance into the potential of being used, right? 59, 28. 28, okay. And, you know, really, I'd say the Thane is almost at the point, like, really what this is saying is if the Thane was 400 gold, he would be worth it to bring just the fight stuff, basically. Then all of his abilities are, you know, pay for play, depending on what you want. So we'll see how Belegar. Now, Belegar has 600 more mass. He was 900, now he's 1100. So he can plow his way through those Sauruses no problem. And you can see he kind of goes where he wants, and he thinks he's winning. And he's also hitting less max targets. He used to hit in his cone up to 8 targets. Now it's only 6. That should allow him to kill more models. And that's really what we're looking for. Is he going to kill more models and actually be able to turn this fight, which was a pretty repeatable loss for him, into a potential win? You know, and we'll watch if they get to 1,000. But he's winning right now. You know, he thinks he's winning. It's going back and forth, but this is much closer than much closer than it was, clearly. And we'll see. I'll once I get this data point, I will actually go take a quick look at the rest. But yeah, he's doing better. Belegar's doing better than he did. And I did one quick test and he almost won it, so I think he has a chance of actually, he does have a chance of actually winning this fight, which is that's just, I think, is important, you know, like, okay, 54-16, so 54-16, and I used Thorgrim once too, and he won straight up, so that was really good. Now he only won like 46% of the time, or 57, something like that, but in the one test battle I did, he won. So 318 for Belegar, and the Saurus 1726. Okay, so only 300. He only lost 300 gold in that. Now, what was he losing before? An average of 426. So there you go. That's already, the Saurus finished with an average of 28% hit points. Here they're 25. So he's doing a little bit more DPS at 19 sustained. I would like to see that a little higher, because he had averaged 28. So he averaged 20.8 in the last time they fought, and only had 19. So I'm guessing he's going to do better in these. Well, no, his attack is the same, but he's hitting less targets. I wonder how that's going to affect his DPS. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to keep testing, and when I get all the data at the end, I can really think about what it means and how it compares. You know, this is still showing, you know, like, it's not the best idea to throw Belegar into a group of Saurus warriors, even though they're not armor piercing, because the Saurus warriors will pull positive gold out of that. Gaba, what happened to Thorgrim? So Thorgrim is cheaper by 100 gold. He went from 1,600 base gold to 1,500, and he also got an AP swap. So he got 25 extra AP for 25 base damage. So that just makes him a little tougher. And those are the only two things. He didn't have anything else changed, I don't think, from there. Like no other stats. So those really, that AP swap, I think, is going to make a difference. So we'll see. And he's 1,500 gold cheaper, so he can't help but pull a little bit more value. You know. Come on, Belegar. Get him. I want him just to start killing stuff. Like, he's got to kill models. But he is harder to hit for them, for sure. That extra 5 melee defense is not nothing. Oh, and he thinks he's winning now. That's actually really positive. See, they think they're losing. They're at 1,800. Okay. I'm just going to... Gaba. Best Lord was just made better. He's you know, there's no doubt. I mean, he's 100 gold cheaper. Like, that can't be worse. Okay, 1663. Let's play. I just don't want to lose my data point here if Belegar wins. Okay. is so close. Yeah, once this Saurus Warriors gets below 1,000 health is when I gotta worry. Now, here's the problem. When they do this, where they go insane, they actually get a stat boost now, where they get +8 melee attack, and it appears to be something. There we go. So they actually, the very end, they pulled that out and turned it into a win. So 54-34. 54-34. Belagar. 373, and the Saurus Warriors 1255. Okay, and only 248 gold. Definitely seeing a difference there. Rematch. I know Gabba Gundam, there's going to be a lot more builds with Thorgrim in. I mean, that 100 gold matters because essentially you get one of his abilities for free or for half price. Or you could just bring 100 gold more of something else. Like, it's 100 gold matters. Gabba Gundam. Just so you know, the Lord can be a budget Thorgrim with his Star Metal plate. Thorgrim? Oh, you're talking about the base Lord with Star Metal. Yeah. Yep. So now the base Lord is 100 gold cheaper. So with that Star Metal plate, I think it's 235. Essentially, it's almost like the Star Metal plate is now 135 without -9. I know the -9 melee attack only has a 40 meter radius, whereas Thorgrim's +9 is 55 meter radius, but it's still really good. And I don't know if his vigor, his no vigor loss ability is cheaper now, but it looked cheaper in my mind. I'm not sure. I don't have the actual price that it was at, but it looked cheaper. Gabba did some tests with him, and he's okay. Cool. I know A-Move Hacker loves using the base Lord, and he's gonna love him even more because he's just 100 gold cheaper now. Which is good because he's now he's not the cheapest Lord, but because the Rune Lord is still the cheapest, but he's not bad. Okay. Saurus Warriors 2136. Come on. Well, there you go. Belagar thinks he's winning. Ooh, so 14-16. 1391. Okay, Belagar lost again. Very, very close though. 54-14. 54-14. These are very close fights. Much better performance in general. So Belagar finished with 382. And Saurus Warriors finished with 1225. Okay. Keep on going. And anyways, the fight that I watched Thorgrim fight him, I mean, even though he hasn't had his number of targets reduced or mass increased or anything like that, that AP swap has made a difference. Like the one fight I saw him win, he won pretty handily. Like that might be enough to actually just kill enough more models. Gabba Gundam. Thorgrim is far stronger with his book just for the direct army buff for aggressive frontline builds. Agreed. He is so good with his book. And he not only allows but encourages you to take higher tier units. Even if you don't, you get good value. Like, you can get good value out of him with his book with lower tier units, but you put that high tier stuff on the Peak Gate Guard, on hammers. I mean, they buzzsaw through things. They're so fantastic. And I mean, I like him with the hammers combination with the Rune Smith with his extra 10% AP. And, I mean, I have a couple games on the channel with that, and it's quite strong. Here, watch this. Just want to make sure I do not miss anything here. Okay, it looks like Belagar is going to lose this one because they're about to rampage, and when they rampage, yeah, they get extra stats, and that matters. Okay, 5502, 55-2, Belagar 332, Saurus Warriors 1387. Very steady results, actually. Impressive how they're not very swingy, considering this fight is so close. Rematch. Gabba, the Lord would be better if he would get a Vanguard ability, support sneaky ranger builds. I know. But like, I think that would be a great ability. Like when Joseph Bugman gets released, that'll obviously be, he will obviously be Vanguard deployable, but at least one Lord and at least one hero, make him Vanguard deploy. And you never know. I did not see about Gotrek. He might be Vanguard deployable. It's possible. Him and Felix. I didn't see if they could Vanguard deploy, but you should find out pretty quick. Gaba, and put the Thane in his horn, and no hammer will suffer badly at the charge again. You know what? You put the Thane with the horn, the Runesmith with his buffs and his 22% damage resistance, and Thorgrim with his buffs, and any front line, you are absolutely going to plow through it. Right? There's just no way to stop that. It's just a matter of getting up against the right army, because that's the only problem with Thorgrim is if your opponent goes really wide, it becomes a little bit harder, I think. But if your opponent stays narrow, you can just sit in the pocket and kick the crap out of them very easily. Okay, 54-38. I know that Zach Bisane has some nice builds. He's going to have fun with them, with Thorgrim builds. So does Shetland Apache. He's had some very nice Thorgrim builds before, 265. So I'll be really fun to see what those guys do with it. 1956. Okay. In the battle, rematch. Gaba, even Chosen melt like butter. With all those buffs, yeah, you're gonna melt Chosen. I mean, you put the minus 27 melee defense, the Horn of Vengeance, 22% damage resistance, 10% extra armor piercing damage. You put all those together, you will crush a group of Chosen without taking a lot of damage in return. Okay. Zach be saying, I can't wait for my Thorgrim builds to be better. I was just saying that, Zach. You have so many Thorgrim builds that's like, it'll be fun to watch how your builds develop. I mean, Thorgrim's got an extra 25 AP. He's 100 gold cheaper. I mean, it's not nothing. It's really gonna matter. In those whether you bring him in a super tight build, a super elite build, or even bring him in a normal build. I mean, he's not going to be as good, but he's not going to be bad in a normal build. Like, you give basic dwarf warriors with great weapons an extra 9 melee attack, and they're going to do a lot more damage. I mean, anything getting that extra 9 melee attack is going to do a lot of damage. You put them up against something and give them minus 27 melee defense, I mean, it's even better. Gaba, and bolt throwers and gyros protect the flanks. So, I've got a really fun build. For the longest time, I've been avoiding Dowie Civil Wars. Because, like, someone will play the dwarfs and I'll just take something else. But this time, I've built a Dowie build for a Civil War if I have to go to war on ladder. And I can't wait to unleash that build. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm actually really looking forward to it. 54-45. Belagar? Oh, excuse me. 3:14. Yeah, it's a work night and I'm already up a little bit late, so. What did I do here? 2087. Did I forget to delete that? Is that 2087? Yeah, I did. Okay, delete. Okay. They finished with 1561. Okay, and let's keep on going. One more test, and we'll see what that value proposition looks like for Belagar Ironhammer. He got some nice stat buffs. He's attacking less targets. Let's see how much of a difference it makes on the actual value side. And he's 100 gold cheaper, right? 100 gold cheaper. Let's go, Belagar. Get in there and get some. Well, I haven't been paying attention to how many models he's killing. But, I mean, it'll be on the stream. If I need to compare from one stream to the other, because I got the Saurus Warriors up there. So I can see how many are dead. And compare the deaths to the health. Because they should have more deaths per hit point removed if Belagar is actually killing more models. And Belagar might have less DPS because he's not hitting 8 targets, he's only hitting 6. So a lot more of his damage actually gets wasted when, say, he does 100 points of damage on a unit that only had 4 hit points left, right? You got 96 wasted damage, which is going to happen less when you hit 8 targets instead of 6. But you hit 6 targets instead of 8, you're going to get a lot more kills. That's the idea. I don't know if that's exactly how to play out, so I might go take a look at that. Okay, there we go, 5509. 5509, and Belagar finished with 412. Saurus finished with 2229. Okay, so let's save that. Whoops. Okay, so let's go and so Belagar on average finished with 9% hit points. This time he finished with 8. The Saurus finished with on average before 28%. Belagar finished with 21. Belagar did an average of 21 DPS. Before it was 20.8. Don't see much there. 15.5 average DPS before for the Saurus. 13.5 after. There's the difference in the melee defense. The total value, so, whoops. Oh, it's not 13.5. That's 14.5. So he went from 15.5 to 14.5 DPS. Sorry. So his old corrected value was 673. His new corrected value is 707. So you're getting 707 gold worth of a fight, but you're only paying 1,000 for it. So your gold ratio will have significantly changed. So it was 0.47. Now it's 0.229. Is that correct? No, that's Thorgrim. Belagar was 0.39. Now it's 0.29. So a big change on the gold ratio. So I think Belagar is quite a bit better. His extra melee defense is showing. Now his DPS looks the same. I don't know if his kill count is different, but I might actually go and take a peek at both videos side by each afterwards to check it. But Thorgrim, I know, can win this fight, so I'm just going to quit the battle and get out of here. Okay. Gavin, that's just the first turn damage. Now our armor will make us even better in sustained melee. Exactly. And there are any builds using an organ gun. I personally don't like it that much. The organ gun's better. They did buff it. I mean, I don't use the organ gun in any of my builds. Mind you, I don't use the base grudge thrower in any of my builds either. I do use the flame cannon in my wood elf build. I do use cannons. I do use the goblobber. But I don't use the organ gun. Now, I have seen the organ gun used. You know, there are some people that will use it. So, I don't know. I've just never used it. So there's Thorgrim at 1,500 gold. I thought High King was cheaper at 156 gold. It isn't. It's the same as it always was. So Thorgrim at 1,500 gold versus the Saurus Warriors at 800 gold. Saurus Warriors with shields. All right. Let's get in there and go see how that ends. A Wizard Lizard, hey man. Mighty Gloin on the forum said that footlights are still disappointing against large. Yeah, go. You're going to work. Have a good day at work. Just so you know, Wizard Lizard, I did do some testing. I have it up, and footlords are slightly better, but not enough to say that it really made an impact. So I'll post something on the forums where I'll reference to these two videos that I made before and after. You can see the difference. The math made a difference, and the hit resist made a difference, but not as big as it would have. I think there's just a fundamental problem with how the hit rolls take place. And boom. 59.27. 27. Yeah, I'll try and post on there tonight, Wizard Lizard. So if you do see the forums at all today, I'll try and put together. I really want to put together a an informative post, not an argumentative post, just to explain what's going on. And I'll reference the videos that I did. Okay, so let's see if Thorgrim wins this. That extra 25 AP is not nothing. And you can see he's just kicking the snot out of these guys. That extra charge bonus. Like that. You can see him cruising through there. Like he thinks he's winning. They think he's winning. He's taking a ton more health off. Like he's getting more kills. Like he's got, well, he's only got 3 kills, but I don't know. Now they're starting to come back. But we'll see. We'll see. The very first time I ran this, he won pretty handily. Now we'll see if he wins, he loses, kind of what goes on. But I think he's winning right now. Oh, the Saurus Warriors think they're winning. It's kind of going back and forth. He's got to get a big hit in and kill some models. So they got what? 52? They got a lot of models left. Come on, Thorgrim. Kick some tail. Let's go, buddy. Get in there. Come on, Thorgrim. No dallying about. You got to kill some models there, buddy. Go, kill them. Okay, whoa. And he's routed. Well, alright. 54-37. He's a little better, but, you know, that AP has made a difference. But we'll see how much. Maybe it's not made that much of a difference. The first battle might have been, when I was just playing, might not have made that much of a difference. Thorgrim finished with 542. And the Saurus finished with 1426. Loss. Okay. Okay, and rematch. Dr. Nick, aka Gobble Slayer. Hey everybody, Gobble Slayer. How's it going today? Good. How's it going with you? Just doing some testing, and I've already got 2 videos up tonight on the channel. One with some stealth buffs to the Dowie, which is fantastic, including the Master Engineer being 150 gold cheaper instead of 100 gold cheaper, which is really nice. Not to say he's going to be useful in any builds, but 150 gold less is not going to hurt. So that'll actually be quite nice. And got a charge bonus to the base lord and a charge bonus to the Thane. Really nice. And we'll see the resistance to being knocked over hasn't been as good as I'd hoped. And it is, I think, more what, like the last video I said was, I mean, the footlords just, the mounted lords get to keep re-rolling to see if they knock them over multiple times during the charge. I mean, if they made it so you get to only re-roll once in a charge and then you're on a 10-second timer, that would actually be a good idea. So you couldn't just bowl through a million things every time you charged, actually. If every time you charged, as soon as you knock something down, you know, you sort of get to knock something down for 3 seconds. And that way you could actually plow through a big group of infantry or something, which would be super cool. And then once you've knocked something down, you have a timer where you can't knock things down again for a little bit. So there you go. Thorgrim is lost again, unfortunately. Because getting to re-roll the knockdown and stagger animation like 10 times is not fair. Not reasonable. So, and it's still happening. 54-54. 54. Okay, Thorgrim. Alright, and he's starting to finish with 373. And Saurus with shields finished with 1133. Okay, and a loss for Thorgrim, unfortunately. Okay, we'll keep on fighting that. Come on, Thorgrim. You got to get in there, kick some butt. Gobble Slayer. Sad that I wasn't able to give any good tournament performance on the last patch. I had a good video of yours. Did I not post one up? Gobble Slayer, did I not do one of your videos? Did you already test the knockdown and interrupt chances? Yeah, I did. It made a difference, Gobble Slayer, but not as much as I would have liked. It still happens where you get like 10 chances to knock him over. It's a bug, or it just doesn't work how it's supposed to, I don't think. you shouldn't get 10 free rolls to knock a hero over in 4 seconds. You should get one roll. That's it. Yeah, I'll try and put together a good video showing them, or sorry, a good post on the forums showing the difference. And we'll see. Hopefully it gets seen and looked at, and maybe, you never know. Like the only way I can see around that, and it's been suggested, is to give Footlords knockdown immunity, so they're not laying on their face all the time. And I think that might actually be the way to go. Because some people are saying, "Oh, that wouldn't be fun if you couldn't knock a Footlord over." And well, yeah, not fun for who? It'd be fun for me if my Footlord could hit you when you cycle charge me for 10 minutes at the end of a game. Oh, and a watch. Okay, Thorgrim. Okay, there we go. 54-55. Thorgrim finished with 522. And the Sours finished with 1241. I don't know. Maybe this AP swap is not all making. Like, I mean, Sours Warriors only have 60 armor. So the point where armor piercing becomes more valuable than regular weapon strength is around 50 armor, kind of in and around that area. So 54-55. Okay, we got that data point. So let's get another. See defeat, yes, and a rematch. Gobbleslayer, did you? I don't recall any. I only submitted 2 replays to you, and one was a bit of a meme. God, I know I meant to get to one. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I had so many replays at the end. I think I have 89 replays I didn't get to. I tried to live stream some, and then I just could not get caught up. I took quite a long vacation during the summer. But I just couldn't get caught up to my freaking replays, which I felt bad about because I watched them all, and there were so many good ones. There's actually a really great one with a Wizard Lizard versus Grumpy Guard, where a Wizard Lizard is Dwarfs and Grumpy Guard played Greenskins, which was a really fun one. Actually, I had a bunch from Grumpy Guard. I had 2 from a Wizard Lizard that I never got to. Had a bunch from a Rorqual Boss I never got to. Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to get to them all because when I watch them, like there's so many important games. There's so many important. It's not that I didn't get to the games. It's just that there's important things in those games that dwarf players and people learning the dwarfs need to know. That people need to see in order to get better at the Dao-E. And I really like showing those ones the best, where you get to learn something that really has a high value for particularly new or beginning players. That's sort of the thing I love most, is finding something that's really valuable for new players and being able to get a game that really demonstrates the idea clearly. I mean, those are my favorite ones to cast. And there were some out there like that, so I didn't get to them. 54-46. You can see some of the ones I didn't cast for a Rorqual Boss too. Man, he had so many good games he sent to me. Okay, 54-46. 440. 1256. Okay, Thorgrim is on a losing streak here. This is weird because on the when I just came home from work, I just put this on because I wanted to see if Thorgrim would win it, and he beat these freaking lizards like badly. Yeah, Gobbleslayer, I saw you streamed a bunch, yeah, and it just takes a while to get through them all. The thing is, I really got behind, and then I just couldn't get caught up because I had so much to do this summer. I committed to myself that I would try to put up a video every day. I did so for 3 months, I think. And then I got to July, my vacation was going to start. So I did get a video up every day while I was gone on vacation. Then I came back and I sort of just, I had so much stuff to do, and I had to get caught up at work and stuff like that. But man, well, you know, there'll be more games. I know there'll be more games. There'll be more great games. So there will be there to be had and to be seen. And I'm almost considering making a Discord as well. I know Gilly Guide was going to help me with that and to organize it and stuff at one point. Not to have a hub like, you know, Shetland Apaches. Here's what it should look like. This is what happened. Thorgrim was kicked the crap out of these guys. Hopefully he wins. But not to have a hub like Shetland Apache Discord or Turns Discord, where these are giant Discords, or Air of Carthrages or Party Elites are all Discords I go to. Not to have a hub like that where there's tons and tons of people, but to have a very, very specific spot for just Dowie fanatics, just slayers and longbeards and real dwarfs to go to talk about a few things here and there, and to maybe prep for the Grumbling Dwarf, and to put very specific replays that are really Dowie focused or show something very interesting. So I might end up doing that. 54-22. Much better job, Thorgrim. See, I started talking about Longbeards, and Thorgrim kicks some butt. So 887. Okay, and Sours finished with 690. Good job, Thorgrim. All right. Okay, and end the battle and a rematch. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, I think I'm going to really try and play a lot of games this weekend. Kanger. Oh, Kanger. Hey, how's it going? What'd you miss? Triple Thane time? Okay. Yes. Kanger. Probably not Triple Thane time. But maybe the day will come, my friend, where Triple Thane shall be the meta. I mean, I've tested the Thane, and he's much better. He's significantly better, and he's only 500 gold. You know, he still lacks some utility, but there was some stealth buffs, and the Thane is better than he was. That is nothing to be ashamed of. Yes, please start a Discord. You know, I think maybe I should. I mean, I think it's pretty easy to do. From what Gilly Guy was saying, and then it could just be like, it's not a place where everyone would go every day. Like, it would be just kind of like a little place to put some stuff, you know, and to you know, I don't just have like a little I want to make the Grumbling Dwarf really an open forum for dwarf lovers to come in, say hello, and talk about, you know, this passion we share. You know, I want it to be kind of like your local pub, where you can just walk in at any hour of the day, and there's going to be other people there, and you know, you talk about all things Dowie. So I want to make the Grumbling Dwarf like that. So the dwarf Discord I would make would be something akin to a dwarf mailbox, you know, like a group mailbox, or maybe not like a place where everyone comes all the time to meet up, but everyone comes to leave information and get information. You know, that's kind of how I would see that. Okay, so Thorgrim thinks he's winning. Is that 34? I don't know. You're going to win there, buddy. But maybe if you get a big shot in. Oh, that was actually really good. If he gets a shot in the right direction, he might actually win. He thinks he's winning. Come on, hit him. Ah, Thorgrim. Hit him, buddy. Hit him, buddy. Hit him, buddy. There, he did win. All right, good job, Thorgrim. 53-34. Okay, Thorgrim 432. Saurus 494. And another win for Thorgrim. Come on. Let's keep the win streak going there, buddy. Let's get her done. All right. And then we'll compare Thorgrim. It looks like Thorgrim is going to do a little bit worse than he did last time. That's what it looks like. But, so, I mean, he's got the AP, the extra AP. But apparently it's not making that much of a difference. Maybe it'll make more of a difference if he's fighting sort of... Well, of course it'll make more of a difference if he's fighting things with more armor. Like things that sort of have 100 armor and up, it's really going to be more noticeable. Whereas the Saurus Warriors, because they only have 60 armor, that it's not enough to make a giant difference. I mean, like I said, 50 armor is probably that cross point between normal weapon damage and armor piercing, and they only have 60, but I would have thought it made a little more difference, but apparently not a bunch. Because this set of tests is looking very much like the other set of tests, except Thorgrim's doing slightly worse, which is probably within, sort of the margin of error on this sort of stuff. Come on, Thorgrim. Instead of turning around, just kill everything in front of you, then turn around. All right, buddy? Like he hits 8 with his splash attack, and he has that magic damage. So it doesn't matter. They don't have magic resist, and they don't have physical resist, so the magic damage is pretty irrelevant, but it's that big splash, and you can see he sends them flying. If he gets a shot where they're all sitting there, crap, he's gonna go. Come on, Thorgrim, come on. There he goes. Definitely not as good as last time, but we'll see what the numbers end up. 54, 58. 54, 58. Okay. And Thorgrim finished with 545. The Saurus finished with 1353. Okay, and Thorgrim lost. So let's go and take a look. So Thorgrim ended up at 825. He finished at 840 gold last time. So essentially he's at an identical point in the gold. Does that tell me not much has changed? His DPS last time was 21. Theirs was 17. So 21.2, 17.2. And let's just go 21.2, 17.2, 22.6, 18.1. Say a bit of a difference for both of them, but it's probably within the margins. Like the standard deviation was 1.3 and 1.8. Last time it was 0.4 and 2.2. So, is what it is. The Saurus last time finished with an average of 15%, Thorgrim 10. This time Thorgrim 9, Saurus 14%. So that AP hasn't made of enough of a difference to tell in this fight. Now, when you look at the Thane is now 500 gold instead of 600. And it used to come out at a value of 387 gold. Now it's pulling out at 434. So you're looking at a solid 50 gold more value in that in the Thane, which is good. And again with Belegar, he's cheaper, but his old value is 673. His new value is 707. So really, you're looking at a solid 35 gold worth of value in his abilities, which is excellent. That's not nothing. A +5 melee defense is certainly something. Dr. Nick, a.k.a. Gobbleslayer, just got back. Any interesting observations? Yeah, I'm just going over those. I mean, the stream's going to end here pretty soon. I just wanted to capture this data while I had it. So, I'm going to say Thorgrim's changes are not enough to matter against the Saurus with shields. Belegar's are noticeable again by about 35 gold-ish. And he's 1,000 gold, so he's 100 gold cheaper. Plus, he's pulling more value, so that's actually a good combination. You would expect him to do better, but now he's doing quite a bit better in the total value department. And the Thane, like I said, you could bring if you brought a Thane, just a Thane, and you were able to get him to fight Chaff, he would be worth it to bring at 500 gold. If you knew your opponent was going to bring, I don't know, let's give an example. Like, you knew your opponent was going to bring Chaos Marauders. Like, a Thane would be fine against Chaos Marauders. Like, he'd pull awesome value against them because he doesn't have any armor piercing, but he's going to do pretty good. Kanger. I'm curious to see Quarters with Great Weapons builds. Kanger? You will see Quarrelers with Great Weapon builds if you watch this channel, because I am very curious to see Quarrelers with Great Weapon builds too. The buff to the crossbow is something. And I'm really looking forward to using the Quarters with Great Weapons, because if you saw, I did use them in a couple of builds before, and they kind of performed not bad. Now, that extra 2 melee attack is not much, but it's not nothing either. So I'm really looking forward to it. And they buff to the AP damage and the overall damage. So I did a quick calculation when I went to TWW stats to actually look at the difference. And it looks like Quarrelers with Great Weapons, and Rangers all have better DPS now. So they all do more damage per second. They reload slower, but that extra 4 damage, 2 AP, 2 normal damage on their bows means they do more DPS, particularly against armor targets. So it's a buff. Even though the base Rangers went from 525 gold, it is still a buff. And the normal Quarreler stayed at 550. Nice buff. And the Quarrelers with Great Weapons got +2 melee attack plus the buff. It's a buff. However, Bugman's Rangers took a big nerf. Like, it's not small. Their reload speed didn't go down by 2 seconds, which was actually 1.8. It said they went down by 2 seconds. It was actually only 1.8 seconds. And when you look at the data details, but the Bugman's Rangers, they say their reload went up by 3 seconds. It's actually like 3.7. And the Bugman's Rangers are 50 gold more expensive. Now, they got a buff in the damage they do, but they definitely got a total nerf. Like, that extra 50 gold and the firing a lot slower. They fire as fast as normal Quarrelers now. They used to fire faster. Now they fire about that same speed, and it's a big nerf to the Bugman's Rangers. Now, that said, the Bugman's Rangers were amazing. Now they're just going to be good, right? Now they're going to be more of a choice. They're not going to be, not like they were used in every build, because they weren't. But I guess the builds they were in, they were very efficient. And I know I used them in the Empire build, and they are so good in that fight. They just dominate. They literally dominate in that fight against Empire. And every fight I've had with them, there's nothing Empire can do. Those Bugman Rangers are so good in every way, shape, and form. Because it's hard to kill their models. Because they have charge defense against large, they have good melee defense. You come in and charge them, you don't kill models. It's a problem. But they've taken some big buffs, so they're going to be niche now. They're not going to be mainline on every build. If you really want, you could probably bring two Bugman's Rangers to every build, and you're probably not hurting yourself all that bad. But they're going to be more. They're right for build X. They're right for build Y. They're right for build Z. So I have them in my. I just had a fight against Bretonia online, like about 20 minutes before I started this live stream. And I brought 2 Bugman's Rangers in that. I'm actually thinking of taking them out of that build and replacing the Bugman's Rangers with Quarrelers with Great Weapons. It's not like Bretonia can bring anything with armor piercing from range. So, yeah, I don't know. Might do. The build I fought to was actually pretty good. Had 4 trebuchets, which was really fun. So, anyways, the moral of the live test is the Thane is definitely better. Yes, it's cheaper. Yes, it got some things, and yes, it has more mass, and yes, it has more knockdown resistance. But it is demonstrably, objectively more valuable in an infantry fight, which is excellent. Still not quite enough to bring just for an infantry fight, but not bad. Belegar, I think, going down to 1,000 gold, getting 5 extra melee defense, 600 more mass, the knockdown differential, and having the silver shield. I think he was maybe not the best pick in any match, but he was a very good pick already in the Vampire Coast match, and he'll be even better now. He's 1,000 gold cheaper. And then Thorgrim, no real difference that I could tell in this infantry fight, but that extra 25 AP will probably come in handy in sort of slugfests with other lords. And maybe I'll do another Will It Kill Mazdamundi with Thorgrim now that he has that extra 25 AP. That actually might be enough for him to win that fight. So that's the testing. I'll lock it down, post this up, and then I'm going to go think about making a post on the forums to try and show the charge videos that I made before and after, and I'm trying to think about how to word it as effectively as possible so that there's no kind of, like, forums are weird sort of places. You got to be careful what you say and how you say it in order to really present a point that's not a shot at anybody or anybody's faction or anything else like that. And that's sort of what I want to do in the forums, and hopefully it's seen, because CA does always have about a month after a patch, a month after a DLC, they have a patch-ish, a month-ish after, and they do little fixes in that. They always do. They have a couple extra units here and there and stuff like that, right? And they always have one more little patch. Then they have the 3 months or 2 months or 4 months until the next big DLC. But so we should see another patch in a month. So I'll get this into the forums, try and get it in there tonight. What time is it? Yeah, maybe I'll try and get it in there tonight with the example videos and my hypothesis of what's happening and what I don't know what the right solution would be. Everybody has their idea what the correct solution is. I'll just try and present the problem, and people can talk about the potential solution rather than try to suggest a solution and kind of get lost in the weeds. Really, I just want to make sure I bring a light to this Footlord problem. It's not like it's unknown. People are talking about it, but you know, if you watch that first video of Ungrim Iron Fist getting run over relentlessly by a Beast Lord chariot, I mean, if it made you mad, it should have, because it's been this way for 3 years. You know, I know. There's games there's not a lot of games, but I know there's games at the end of the game, like I've just been run over by Malekith and his damn chariot. I can't even get a hit in, and it's so irritating. I want to just reach through reality and throttle, Malekith's neck. You know, that skinny pencil neck elf neck. I just like to, but it is highly irritating. So, but it's been that way for 3 years, and hopefully the video will demonstrate exactly what's going on enough to really see what it is. Really see that effect of the stuttering and getting to roll for this knockdown percentage over and over and over. So anyways, that's the live stream. We do have a before and after test. We verified a couple units definitely did get better. So I'm going to be making lots of videos, and hopefully I'm going to be playing a lot online this week, and maybe I'll be able to get in some games with you guys. We'll see, and we'll go from there. So Dr. Nick, yeah, it's so dumb when you have a super anti-large legendary lord like Ungrim who can't do anything to a monster or a chariot or even a cav unit. You know, exactly, Gobble Slayer. Like, to a beast lord on a pig chariot, Ungrim would slice that pig in half in one shot, in the lore. And in actual testing, he can't even hit it, not even once. Now he with the extra mass and the extra knockback percentage, he did get some hits in. So it is a little better. But it's not where it needs to be, I don't think so. Anyways, that's the stream. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for showing up, and have a good one to everyone.